What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sensei, and we are back once again, the Sports Senseis. So glad to see you guys. I know it's been a while, but we are back here. Tuned in. We are ready to get into all the NFL playoff coverage that your hearts can desire. We got a lot to talk about. Ruth might cry the whole show. Who knows? But without further ado, watch this cool video.
You just got no chill, right? You just had to start it like, oh, Ruth is going to cry the whole time.
Listen, there's 4 things you can guarantee in this life. Death, taxes, technically 3. Death, taxes, and the Cowboys failing in the playoffs.
Bruh.
For the last 30 years, they have set you up just to let you down. They are the toxic ex that y'all keep going back to after we tell y'all time and time again. Leave them alone.
Leave them alone.
You don't want to listen to us. You want to listen to us. You always want to spin the block and then be upset with us when y'all get disappointed.
Because how would I look being born into a franchise and just walking away? Like I would look like a straight up traitor, right? As I have all this Bucs stuff behind me.
Sometimes you gotta do what's best for you.
Oh my gosh.
This is bad for your health, Ruth. Why do you do this to yourself every single year?
You see me?
Look, sometimes what your family passes down to you is toxic, and you need to.
They're called strongholds.
There you go.
They're called demonic strongholds.
Soul ties.
Yeah, soul ties, generational curses.
Exactly.
Generational curses. Break them.
Oh my!
Break every chain. Break every chain.
Listen,
I love that song. It's such a good song. Welcome to the Sports Senseis, everybody. It's been a minute. We're back, though. You guys don't understand how hard it is for all of us to get on the same time. Like, we're all in different time zones all across the United States. So right now it is 10:15 p.m. on the East Coast. J. Nicole, what time is it over there where you're at?
9:15 Central Standard Time.
Yep, and I got 7:15 Pacific Standard Time.
7?
7:15.
Your day is just getting started. Like, have you had dinner yet?
Right? No, literally, and I haven't even. That's crazy. But yes, we are back. It's so good to see you guys, and also like Bruce said, it's really hard for us to get on the same page. But we are on the same page, so we're not even going to dwell on that right now. Right now, we're laughing at Ruth's pain because we keep trying to tell her that this Cowboys team is toxic. She don't want to listen to us, so we're just gonna jump. We're gonna dive right in because, like Ruth was saying, it's late where she's at, so we want to make sure we get this in. But Ruth, it's you, since you are our avid Cowboys fan, faithful Cowboys supporter, for whatever reason, I don't know why you keep doing this to yourself. But I mean, I know you have a lot of thoughts on the game, so I'm gonna just let you run, sis.
I mean, what is there even to talk about? I don't even know. That wasn't even a game. That was a poor excuse of a team, America's team, that was 12-5, winning the NFC East. I mean, that was just, they didn't show up at all from the very start. As soon as Deron Bland got that first penalty on the Packers' first drive, and I believe it was on a 3rd down. It would have been a 4th down afterwards. And then they just, after that, it was just Aaron Jones all day long. Once again, we had no answer for the run game. Once again, that's been killing us. That killed us with the Lions. That killed us with the Eagles the first time around. Like, just Dan Quinn is definitely on the hot seat. There's no excuse for Jordan Love, first time in the playoffs, for him to be scoring 48 points. 3 touchdowns. I mean, he played a pretty good game. The guy looked good. We didn't get a single sack, so it wasn't even all on our offense. Like, where was our defense at from the very start? Just letting the Packers run up and down that field and doing whatever they jolly well pleased. And we had no answer for it. And we had home field advantage. You would have thought, being 16-0 at home, that it was going to bring some type of intensity, that we got to guard our home field, and nothing. We just legs wide open, no lube, just let them go to town. Let the Green Bay Packers go to town. from the very start. I mean, it don't even matter that they scored 32 points. Like, even though Dak Prescott had over 400 yards, that doesn't matter. Like, you threw a pick six. It was the most disgusting throw I've ever seen. You're trying to force the ball to CeeDee Lamb when he's in triple coverage. He said it himself at the press conference at the very end. I sucked tonight. And I don't even think that begins to describe how disappointed I am in Dak Prescott. But, I mean, as a Cowboys fan, am I used to this? Yeah, I am used to this. Do I keep coming back every season? Yeah, I do. I keep buying the gear. I keep rocking the team. I keep battling other people and especially Eagles fans on Twitter. I keep going to bat for them, and I have absolutely no idea why. Because 12-5 does not excite me. I said NFC, and I said this, I don't know how many years I've said this, NFC championship game or bust. That was it for me. I don't want no one playoff win. You did that last season with Tampa. NFC championship game or bust. And even then, if you don't win the NFC championship game and get your butt to a Super Bowl, I was still going to be disappointed. So for our season to be over in that manner against a Green Bay Packers, one of the youngest teams in the NFL right now, with Jordan Love emerging as a superstar and just wiping the floor with us, like literally could have used this towel to just clean up the mess. Absolutely disgraceful. Is Dan Quinn on the hot seat? I believe he should be. Is Mike McCarthy the problem? I wouldn't say that Mike McCarthy is the problem. I don't see Jerry Jones moving on from Mike McCarthy. I don't see Jerry Jones moving on from Dak Prescott. Everybody's saying like, oh, you guys need a new quarterback. It's like, I get it. He don't show up at big games, but at the end of the day, at least we're getting to those big games. So can you give him a little bit of credit for him to even get us there? Because, I mean, how many other quarterbacks is available in the NFL right now that you could scoop up that would be better than Dak Prescott? I mean, for a majority of the season, Prescott was in MVP conversation. So I don't know what Jerry's going to do, but the man's getting old. He's 81 years old. He wants another Super Bowl before his permanent work is over. And I just think a fresh reboot. They should have went and gotten Dalvin Cook as soon as the Jets released him because we needed a resurgence in the run game. We just needed a lot. And yeah, there's no excuse. They didn't show up. Packers showed out. And we just sat there and sucked our thumbs the whole entire game. We had no answer. There was no readjustments. The zone coverage was absolute basura. Like Dan Quinn was up in the box too. You got the whole field view. Put Curse in the right spot. Like, what are you even doing right now? So I'm sad, guys. I'm really sad. And you would have thought that maybe the Bucs winning last night against the Eagles would have put a little bit of nah, not at all. I'm still probably gonna get that till this every time the Cowboys deflate like this in the playoffs, like I'm not over it until like after the Super Bowl. After like I turn my attention towards the NBA, like I'm not gonna not be upset about how crappy the ending of our season is. And yeah, that's what I gotta say about that. They freaking suck. They suck, man. When it counts, they suck. But do I have the answers of how they're going to fix this? Absolutely not. I'm not paid to do so. I'm not even paid to be a fan.
Maybe you should.
I like getting my feelings hurt.
There should be.
I mean, yo, there was like longtime fans on Twitter that was denouncing the Cowboys, like straight up being like, I read this one tweet that this guy was like, I've been a Cowboys fan for 22 years. I am so tired of this heartbreak. I don't care how I sound right now. And people want to, start trash talking at me. Like, I am no longer a Cowboys fan. I am moving on. Oh, and wow. I couldn't even be mad at the guy. I know that you guys sent like a TikTok in the group chat. I was trying to open it. Please tell me what the video was because it wasn't playing for me.
So the video was that it was the older lady. She was a Cowboys fan and she has like the Cowboys license plate on the front. and she was taking like a screwdriver and she was screwing it.
She was taking it off. She's like, I'm done.
And she was like, I can't keep doing this. Like, y'all do this to me every single year. Like, I can't do it anymore.
Every single year. We've had Dak since 2016, and it's just you've won one playoff game since you've been there. That's not enough. And you want big time money? You want to get paid $59 million next season? Why should we be paying you as a top quarterback if you're not gonna take us over the top?
I had a question for you. This might push you off, but I'm just curious. I saw a question. Somebody had I think it was Matt Barnes, matter of fact. Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, and they were doing their All the Smoke, like, unscripted show. I don't know if you guys have tuned into that, but Matt Barnes being petty asked Steven Jackson, who would he rather have, Tony Romo or Dak Prescott? So I have to ask you the same question. Who would you rather?
Yo, I'm dead either way. What do you mean? What? Oh my gosh. Okay, if I'm being dead serious right now, I'd take Dak Prescott over Tony Romo any day. I mean, Romo was most of my childhood. A friend of mine spent $500 on an autographed NFL football of Tony Romo. I don't know why he did that, but it was a really sweet gesture. But I would have never paid $500 for an autographed football of Tony Romo. But I mean, Romo did the same thing to me, like on and on. But at least I don't know. Dak's a little prettier to look at, I guess. He throws a little bit of a prettier ball, so
he is prettier looking.
But yeesh. What is up with these Dallas quarterbacks not being able to get past the first round of the playoffs? Like, I'm really starting to believe that there is a curse on this franchise. Like, I'm starting to believe that, like, this is fact. Jerry Jones, as soon as you did Jimmy Johnson the way that you did, like, it's been downhill from there. You haven't been able to get back.
Did you see Dak Prescott's LV quote before all of this?
LV quote?
He said he had.
What he said? What he say?
Okay. Gotta get together. So he said he got Louis Vuitton and he got his girl Louis Vuitton because it reminds him of Las Vegas. Because that's where the Super Bowl is getting.
And that's another thing. You're like over here getting some random chick pregnant that you just started dating. Like, my guy, like, stay concentrated on your job, what you're getting paid millions and millions of dollars to do. You over here banging bottle girls and like getting them knocked up. What are you even doing? Like,
that's in the Cowboy contract. You gotta bang bottle girls. You gotta
bang bottle girls. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here.
I'm sorry. I know this is painful for you.
No, painful doesn't even describe. Like, I literally was sitting I was sitting on this couch just looking at this team. I'm so glad that I didn't go out to watch this game. And this is how I know better. Like, I stopped watching Dallas Cowboys games out in public because the last time I did so, I got into a bar fight because everybody wants to start picking on the girl who's cheering for the Cowboys and they're losing or something is happening. And it was a Green Bay Packers game. This was probably back in, like, I want to say 2016. Yeah, 2016 when we played the Packers in the first round against Aaron Rodgers and he threw that Hail Mary at the end of the game and then we lost. 2017, I got into a really bad bar fight where it was like 5 guys against me and like my homegirl. And it was just, it got rowdy. It got rowdy. So I learned my lesson from there that I don't watch Cowboys games out in public. So I was sitting here on this couch by myself with my jersey on, had my hot chocolate, and just try to enjoy the game. But as soon as I just saw how just like unprepared the team looked in the first quarter. And I'm like, this is about to be a long night. And I ended up turning the game off like 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. Like, I couldn't watch anymore. I couldn't do it. I didn't get I wasn't excited when Tony Pollard ran that 1 yard rushing touchdown. Like, I couldn't get excited. It was just, I was completely like, as soon as we 27-0, like, are you kidding me right now? Like, going into the half there's just no words. Like, we looked like silly putty out there. The Packers were just Swissing us up. Like, it was just bad. Like, and I just
like cheese,
like straight up cheese. Like, we were looking like doo-doo out there. Just so bad. Defense played terrible. Special teams didn't do great. Dak had a terrible game. Tried to like turn it up at the end, but it was too late. It was just all around just a really sucky game. So that's what I had to say about that. 48 to 32. That's disgrace. At home. At home. How are you gonna play like that at home? Like, I feel bad for those thousands and thousands of fans that spent their life savings coming to this game, like thousands and thousands of dollars, because it's not cheap. You want a decent seat at AT&T Stadium for a playoff game, you're spending like $5,000-$6,000 just for your ticket alone. And just to put up that performance, let's just like, how can you do that to your franchise? How can you do that to your fan base that is so loyal to you? Whatever.
I'm sorry. Jay, real quick, hop in here, sis. How do you?
Ooh, I mean, Ruth really did say it all. It ain't even much left to say. But I live in the Lone Star State, right? I live in Texas, San Antonio, not Dallas. But
no, Houston Texans is the team in Texas. Let's be real.
Clearly.
Yeah.
And let's just give them a shout out real quick. I used to work for the Houston Texans, so they're my team. So yeah, like shout out to CJ Stroud balling out, QBR over 150, 3 touchdowns in the first half. Like, let's just who's the real team, right? The Texans fans is looking over at the Dallas fans like, bro, really? What an atrocity, right? I mean, it was over. Like the writing was on the wall. Like from jump, you were like, oh my gosh, this is not. They are not prepared. The defense is playing soft. Micah Parsons 1 tackle and what is like it just right away you're like, oh my gosh, this is now if the Cowboys had jumped already, like, oh, we just go mow right past the Packers and let's get to the next round, and you weren't thinking and y'all ain't prepared. The defense, the Dak, like they just like they got punched in their mouth from jump. And then Aaron Jones was like, you know what? I grew up in El Paso, Texas, my state. I'm about to show you what I do over here, and just ran all over them. Oh my gosh, what an embarrassment. All those points at the end, right? Garbage yards, 400 yards at the end, 32. Trying to make the score look a lot closer than it really was. Y'all was never going to win this game, never going to recap a lead. Dak, your 2 interceptions, the pick 6, right as we're almost done with the first half. Like it was just embarrassing. Truly, truly, truly embarrassing. I'm so sorry to Packers fans. I mean, I'm so sorry to Cowboys fans. Packers fans are like, hey, Mike McCarthy, good thing you left because we got Matt LaFleur in here. He got these young boys ready.
We got out coached.
In NFL history in 50 years. In 50 years, the youngest team. His Jordan Love first playoff game, I guess watching Aaron Rodgers for all them years did help a brother out because they came to play and ball out. And the Packers were 7-2 in the last 9 games. They were like, everybody cutting us out. We barely made the playoffs, but we gonna show up and show out. I mean, it really did hurt my heart watching this game. I was like, oh my gosh, this is over. Like they're really gonna lose like this. This is really happening. It was hard to watch. Somewhere beginning 4th quarter, turned it off to, I just was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh yeah, Cowboys gonna take care of business. Just gonna get over this little Packers team, but Packers.
And we had the easiest route to the Super Bowl this season. Like if it was gonna be any year, it would have been this year. We would have got 2 home games back to back, NFC Championship game, and then Super Bowl. Like it was going to be cake as long as we just came prepared and had and just stuck to our game plan and played like how we played Philly the second time around. Like that's all we needed to come with the same energy, and it wasn't there. I don't know if the team went out drinking the night before or what, but everybody just like Stephon Gilmore was just getting run on. Like Kearse was just not in the right place. Lack of communication. It was just all around bad. I mean, we couldn't get to Jordan Love to save our lives. Like, come on now. It was just so bad. And on every aspect, on every cylinder, we were not firing on every cylinder. So.
Yeah.
Sensei.
You have anything to add to that? Coming from somebody who's not a Cowboys fan whatsoever. Like, what did you?
And listen, my mother's a Cowboys fan. And so she would not answer my phone calls. I just feel like, like you guys pretty much said it. Like from start to finish, they weren't ready, and you could clearly tell that the Packers looked like the superior team. I mean, they just did. They came out firing. They came out like a team that wanted to win. They came out a team that was confident. They weren't scared of the Cowboys. Like, it wasn't, the Jerry world wasn't too big. Honestly, it was too big for the Cowboys, for the home team, was what it felt like to me. So you guys pretty much summed it up as far as the details. But I mean, I was shocked to see Dallas go out like that. I thought they had a chance to lose, but I was shocked to see them lose in that fashion.
Yeah, just no adjustments whatsoever. So as Dylan put in the comments, like we have the talent. The talent is there, but we don't have the staff that is making the proper adjustments to put our talent in the best position to win.
Yeah.
So paying all that money, Jerry, for what? I'm confused by it. I'm just appalled. I'm sick to my stomach when I think about it. It's just our season, 12-5 NFC champion or NFC East champions for what? I mean, but let's transition into another NFC East team that kind of deflated in a big time fashion right here in Tampa Bay, right down the street from me. I didn't get a chance to go to the game, unfortunately, but the Philadelphia Eagles only put up 9 points against Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their wild card matchup. Shoo, girl, I'm going to let you take this one first because I think Baker is re-emerging as I would want to put him probably in the top 10 quarterback conversation in these last few weeks. I mean, they had a oopsies game against the Saints towards the end of the season, but for the majority, I mean, you're putting him in a new system, new offensive coordinator, new home, new everything, and he was able to make things happen. So what was your take on the Philadelphia Eagles losing last night? I believe, what was the ending score? It was like 9 to 32.
9 to 32.
What is your take on Tampa Bay right now?
Wow. Well, and here's the thing. I always liked Baker. I always wanted him to win. I always wanted him to do good. So to see him with injured ribs, don't he got an ankle injury too? Like something, right? Yeah. All beat up, all bruised, come and ball out 337 yards, 3 touchdowns. Like, really, Baker? Let's go, baby. Let's go. It was beautiful to see. I knew the Eagles wasn't about nothing. I was like, the defense came to play. The Bucs, I was like, we just gonna take over real quick, right? It was, at the beginning it was still kind of close because, hey, after they scored the touchdown, after the Bucs scored a touchdown, it just was kind of getting some field goals, so it was kind of close. Like, the Eagles were kind of still in it because it's like, oh, only up by, a couple of points, but then they just blew it off and it was over. The Eagles looked like they didn't even come to play. They were like, we are already gassed from losing the last, what was it? The last 6 games?
Yeah, they were 1 in 6 like, last 6 games.
Yeah, they were on a spiral downwards. They were like, we ain't even come to play. We just want this game to be over. They missing tackles. They ain't tackling nobody. They don't even look like they want to tackle nobody. It ain't cold here. Why y'all ain't tackling nobody? Like,
right, yeah.
Man,
it was like, we don't even care about this game. We just want this season to be over. You start 10-1 and you end with the 6th game, that add 7 games, just losing, like, just y'all don't even care. Nick Sirianni, what's going on? You put Matt Patricia in as the defensive coordinator, it went even worse. Your defense was already trash. You go, oh, let's make an adjustment. Let's put Matt Patricia as the defensive coordinator. That was tragic. It ended up even worse. Like, yeah. And the defense was like, well, now we take the identity of the defensive coordinator, so now we got to learn a new defensive coordinator in the middle, and you know what I mean? They look confused, dazed and confused. They didn't know what to do. It's like the team didn't come to show out and play. They didn't make any adjustments, right? I'm like, what are y'all doing? Their offense looks gas, doing the same plays over and over. You got receivers in the same area trying to it's like they didn't know what to do. Like they all of a sudden forgot to play football, and they hadn't looked good all year. right? They really had it, but they would find a way to win, right? 10-1, they were grinded out. They would find a way to win. Jalen would do something, run with his feet, tush push, whatever, right? They would find a way to win, but it was like, we don't want to play. We want this season to be over. Please get us out of this game. How long does this last? Do we really got to go 2 hours? What if we just don't do nothing? Like, I mean, it was embarrassing for the Eagles to lose like this. Not as embarrassing as the Cowboys lost, but definitely embarrassing to be like, you were a team last year that was in the Super Bowl and you were in it all the way until literally the last play of the game. Like, you could have won the Super Bowl last year, and this is how you end your season. I know people are calling for Sirianni's job. I don't know if that's it. I think and clearly we just paid Jalen all his money, but we see what happens when you get paid all the money, right? Mm-hmm. Then you don't perform. How many quarterbacks in the offseason got prepared besides Lamar, who got paid and he's performing? But let's see playoff Lamar. That's another story. But I mean, you get paid and then you don't perform. It's just ridiculous. Jalen needs to be that guy. He needed to take the team on his back. And he just couldn't do it. They were gassed. They were unimpressed. They were just like, let's get this game over. We'll start over next season. And that's what I saw. But hats off to Baker Mayfield. Like I said, he's coming back. He's got the juice. Coach said he's been a real leader in the locker room. Like, people are really following him and believing in him. And I think that's what you need in your quarterback. So, again, always rooting for him. Great job, Bucs. Wanted to see you bang the Eagles because they wasn't nothing. But y'all showed out 32-9. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Can I play penny advocate real quick? Remember, Jay Nicole, I don't know if you recall because you were a Chiefs fan. Remember when Nick Sirianni walked out of the tunnel against y'all and he was yelling at y'all fans?
When was it this season?
Yeah, it was this season.
I reserve losers to be losers. And so what did we just see? You can yell at our fans all you want. You already going home, baby. And we already knew it. The writing was on the wall. But go ahead, y'all at home, handle business. Let's get these Eagles out here. Fly, Eagles, fly. Go back to Philly and take your vacation. Sit your butt on the couch, whatever. Like, just, yeah.
Jesus, let the chopper sing, J. Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna disagree with just one of your points, Jay. I don't think that I'm not gonna put this at the feet of Jalen Hurts, and the reason why is because I don't feel like that he's been healthy all year. I think that I don't know if it was the beginning of the season, somewhere in there he got a little banged up, and he never quite was the same after that. So I'm not gonna place it all at his feet. I do feel like he definitely could have played better though. There was definitely some decisions that he made that were very questionable, that things that he didn't even do last year. Like, he looked more comfortable last year than he did this year as a quarterback. I don't know if that's because of some of the changes that they made as far as getting a new offensive coordinator, getting a new defensive coordinator. I'm not exactly sure what that attributes to, but definitely he regressed some. And I think the problem is I feel like he got comfortable a little bit. But I think he felt like we got to the Super Bowl last year. We were right there. So of course we're going to run it back. And then they start 10-1. So it's like, oh yeah, we really going to run it back now. Cause like we're the best team. We're one of the best teams in the league. You know what I'm saying? We've only lost one game, and then they lost again and lost again and lost again. And as they kept losing, you could just kind of see the confidence fading in the entire team. From him on down. Like, they didn't walk out with the same swagger. They didn't play with the same swagger and aggressiveness that we had seen before when they were 10-1. I didn't expect them to go far in the playoffs. Honestly and truly, I didn't see them losing in the first round. But like you said, Jay, hats off to Baker Mayfield because he's shutting a lot of people up right now. A lot of people got to walk some of that Baker smack talk back. A lot of people are definitely walking it back, and definitely not as loud as they used to be when it comes to talking about Baker Mayfield.
Especially the Bucs fans themselves. I want to say, like, within the first 6 games of this NFL season, a lot of Bucs fans were already discouraged with Baker. They were like, "Oh, put in Kyle Trask." I was like, guys, give him a second. Like, he just got here, new place, new home, new offense, new offensive coordinator. That this is his first time calling plays. Like, Todd Bowles is a defensive-minded head coach. Like, just give him a second. Like, as Jay said earlier, I've always liked Baker Mayfield, even when he was in Oklahoma. Like, I've always had a thing for him in his college career. When he came to the Browns, when he brought the Browns to the playoffs, like all the good things. When they beat down the Pittsburgh Steelers the way that they did while he was in Cleveland, like, it was just I've always had a thing for Baker. He's always known how to rally and handle the media. People don't like his attitude sometimes. He can come off a little bit conceited, a little cocky, but I mean, that's the type of energy you got to bring when you're a leader in a locker room. Like, that's how you earn the respect, but you also got to back it up. I love the relationships that he has mended with the Bucs locker room. Everybody loves him as a person, even outside of a football player. They love him as a person. So that I think that's a testament of Baker and his personality and how he's able to, make relationships outside of football, because that's important too. He invites the guys to play golf over to his house. Like, he's always making sure that there's a connection outside of football, so you could see that flourish on the football field. So really happy for Baker. I got to ask you ladies this question. When you look at the careers as wholes, let's throw away this weekend like it never happened, and you're building a franchise and you want a quarterback to build this franchise around, are you taking Baker Mayfield or are you taking Dak Prescott?
Oh, that's a good one.
Because I had a friend reach out to me through social media, and he DM'd me and he was like, "Yo, I take Baker over Dak any day." And I was just like, I'm trying to look at it from an unbiased opinion, obviously being a Cowboys fan, but overall, I think I would take Dak Prescott. If I'm building a franchise around a quarterback, I think I might take Dak Prescott. But obviously, with Baker's performance last night, how he's looked in the last few weeks, and then you you see what happened with Dak Prescott and how he's completely deflated when it comes to playoffs. Like, I mean, I'm still not over the San Francisco 49ers loss from from the 2021 season. Like, who are you picking? Jay, I want to hear from you, since you got a little bit of love for Dallas.
This is rough though, like, because I feel like, I mean, Dak has been, if you want to see, more consistent in the regular season, right? Like, he's a regular season quarterback. Hey, we have 12 wins in a row, 3 years, and even before Mike McCarthy got there, like, hey, one playoff win out or whatever. Or is it? Wait, I went to the 2019 game. They won that against the Seahawks. Do you remember that? In
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Dak was the quarterback then, I think.
Oh, okay. So he's got 2 playoffs wins.
Right? Because I was like, I went to one. They got one.
Seattle, yeah.
And I went to one. Okay.
I forgot about that Seattle one. Yeah.
Dak too. It's better than one. But yeah, he's been the more consistent. But I feel like we have a longer body of work with him than we do Baker. So it's really a toss up. I feel like I would need to see more of Baker. You know what I mean? I mean, Baker's been, he's in the different teams. They send him here and send him there, whatever. And just seeing him, maybe if the Bucs, if he could, be consistent. Maybe let's see another season with him with the Bucs and see him be consistent and kind of grind it out. Because now second year, okay, cool. I know what we're doing. I know how to lead these men. I know how the team runs, this and that. But that's a tougher one. But I'm gonna have to go with Dak just because I've seen more of a body of work with him. Like I said, he's been a good regular season quarterback, not great, but a good enough to get you into the playoffs. And there, he just crumbles. He just crumbles in the playoffs. But let's be real. Like, there's other great quarterbacks. We're about to see Lamar Jackson because he's crumbled in the playoffs too. So I mean, why are we really trying to like, let me see what you do in the playoffs, because that's when it matters. Right. That's what matters. Once you get in, let me see what you do. So, but right now, I would go with Dak. I would need to see more work from Baker.
I'm gonna go with Baker. Here's why.
I knew she was gonna say that.
Hold on, real quick. This season, at the beginning of the season, 4 wins. Ruth, I hope he gets 4 wins. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that. But go ahead.
Oh, Baker 4 wins? I know. People are like,
right.
the Buccaneers are gonna go 0-17. I'm like, you guys are tripping. Like, you really think they're not gonna win a single game? And they ended up winning the NFC South. Like, put your foot in your mouth for sure.
Yeah. The reason I say Baker is I think if you give Baker Dak Prescott's talent, like the team that Dak Prescott has right now, I think Baker could do more with that team than Dak Prescott could. I think he could, just because of the way that he plays the game, he could maximize the strengths of the Cowboys for that offense more than Dak Prescott is, because let's be real. Dak Prescott, he's a good quarterback. He's not great. I won't even say he's okay. He's a good quarterback. But he's very limited on what he can do well. I would trust Baker throwing CeeDee Lamb a deep ball in those kind of situations more than I would trust a Dak Prescott. Now let's flip it in reverse for a second. If you put Dak Prescott on some of the teams Baker Mayfield's been on, I don't think he has the same kind of success. Because if you notice one thing that's consistent about Dak Prescott is he cannot play well when it's already going bad. Like if it starts bad, it ends bad. Like there's no tread up. It's just like, all right, if he doesn't start off firing, that's it. Like he's pretty much mentally checks out.
Yeah.
Baker has done a lot more to me with less talent than Dak Prescott has. Like think about it. Going to the Browns, taking them to the playoffs. I don't think Dak Prescott could do that. I'm not sure you put him in that same situation that he could do that. Taking over a Tampa Bucs team after the success that they've had with Tom Brady. Not sure Dak Prescott could do that. You know what I mean? Like that's quite a shoes to live up to. And the way that he has them playing, and like Ruth, how you said they're galvanizing behind him, how they believe in him. Like I'm not sure that the Cowboys believe in Dak Prescott the same way. So if you're asking me who could do I'm just putting it in the sense, I guess, who could do more with this if they would flip flop teams, and I think Baker could do a lot more with Dallas than Dak could.
Well, I mean, Jerry, if you want to save some money, I say you cut ties with Dak and you come on, Baker, come on, get this big Lone Star boy.
Imagine Baker in that offense, like think about it.
Yeah, because I mean, I think their offenses are kind of similar because
I
honestly think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers really struggled when it came to the run game, and Dallas really struggled when it came to the run game. Like none of them had a dominant third down back. So I think both of them kind of suffered in that aspect. But when it comes to wide receivers, I honestly think even though CeeDee Lamb is incredible, I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are better off when it comes to that receiving core for sure. So if you brought Dak to the Bucs and you take Baker to Dallas, I think Dak could have came down here to Tampa and win, 12 games instead of just 9. But that's just my opinion.
That's true too. But the only pushback I think I would have is that a lot of teams, when they scout against Dak, is make him throw the ball. Like make him be the one that has to make the decision at the end of the game, because every team feels like they like their chances. Like if he has to be the one to win it, we got a good shot. And I'm not sure you could do that with Baker. I think Baker is a little bit different. Like you got to account for him a little bit more in that kind of situation than you would a Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
But that's just me personally. But moving on to our last and final game. My girl got the hat on. She's repping her squad, so we got to get into it. The Dolphins and the Chiefs, Kansas City, put that thing on them boys. Real bad. There's some conversations we need to have about Tua, but I'll save my rant for later. Ladies, I'm going to start with Jay Nicole, of course, because, like I said, she got the KC hat on. She repping. Sis, how was the game, first of all, as a KC fan? How you feeling? Also, we have to talk about Taylor Swift's swag surf, but we'll get there. Start with the game.
Oh, Lord.
Is that what you call that?
What a travesty.
I have thoughts, and we will.
What a travesty. It's like your man can dance, but you can't dance. He got that still white chocolate. You can't. That's the whole thing. Right? Literally, like
an Asian driving, bro.
Ooh, that was bad. First of all, congratulations to my Kansas City Chiefs who got the win 26-7. Okay. What is this? The third coldest game in NFL history? I think it started off fourth and it dropped, right? Look,
scary.
It's cold. We didn't really know what was gonna happen. That early afternoon, I did the show with my guys on ASAP with my guy Greg, Red Kingdom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did the show, did the pregame of the Dolphins and the Chiefs, and we were like, look, okay. With this cold weather, they're saying like the ball feels like a brick and you throw it. We didn't know, you know what I mean? We were like, run. I was like, hey, I would love it if they would use Pacheco. He runs angry as hell. He will get you them yards. I was like, look, run 70%, throw 30%, right? But what did they come out and do? They're like, we got to make sure, let's see if the people can catch it. My guy Rashee Rice. Thank you, rookie, for
showed
stepping
up,
and
showed
emerging.
out. Yes.
Thank you for catching these balls. Okay, 8 receptions, 130 yards, 1 TD. I mean, he was looking like he'd been in the game for a minute. Like he already knew what's up. He knew it was playoff football. He knew it was cold. I loved every minute of it. Pacheco still got us 89 yards, 1 touchdown. I mean, he was running angry as he usually do. Use the run game. But I get that Andy's like, look, we got to get the receivers going because, yes, we know we've had the most drops all year, right? I'm a little disappointed. Kelsey, he had like 3 major drops, bro. You got to bring that in, man. I know you're getting old. You 34 now. Your bones moving a little different. But, hey, you rested last week, bro. I need you to catch all them balls. When we were in the red zone, definitely we need to get more touchdowns, right? We have to. I'm like, Harrison Buckner scored more points than the Miami Dolphins, right? He scored 12 points. They only scored 7. But let me say overall, give my team their flowers. It was a great win. It was, I think, to have that week, even though they rested a lot of the starters in that last game, but to pull it off, real quick, kick the field goal, get the win, you're still going in, and now 11-6 sounds a lot better than 10-7, right? And so I think they built off of that momentum. I know Patrick was ready to go. This is playoff football. He used his legs. He scrambled. I'm like, when the pass wasn't there, he's like, I'm going to run for it. Yeah. He got down there, chipped off his helmet, right?
That's wild. Yes.
I was like, let's go, Patrick. This is what it's about, baby. Playoff football. Love to see it. We got the win. A win is a win is a win is a win. We've talked about, they basically gave the analogy on the Red Kingdom. What we said was, or what Greg said, it's like, remember when Alicia Keys stopped wearing makeup? But like, if people were shocked, but she still looked good, but they were like, shit, we were like, look, our offense took off all the makeup. I said, I think the defense put it all on. The defense, I said, the defense got the lashes, they got the micro beading, they got the lip fillers, look a little. I mean, our defense put the makeup on. Our offense still makeup. It's all about just getting the win and finding a way to grind it out, and that's what they did. Like I said, we were in the red zone. We were getting the ball down there. It's just like we needed more touchdowns, right? But field goals. We got 3 in the second quarter. So Harrison Buckner is like, all right, I'll kick these, but we only had 2 touchdowns. So I need, we'll talk about who they're playing next. But anyways, all of that to say, great game. Patrick, Pacheco, Rashee Rice, we did the damn thing. We got the win. On to next week.
Yes. Proof the truth.
-7 degrees, but with the wind chill, it felt like -27. How do you expect a Miami Dolphins team to come out there and play in -27? Like, I already knew. Soon as Tyree came out the locker room, ran down that hallway, and he just got smacked in the face with that cold. I already knew, like, these are fish out of water right now, like frozen fish out of water. It's gonna be ugly. Tua's ball didn't have that wisp to it. He wasn't throwing well. Like, he didn't look comfortable out there. I mean, who's comfortable in -27-degree weather? Like, that was just absolutely, I mean, just not. I feel like it would have been a different. I feel like we would have been looking at a way closer game if that game was played in Miami and some comfortable weather, some 60-degree weather would have been so different. But at the end of the day, you're a football player. You got to come prepared for that kind of thing. Like, half these players played over, in other different teams in other regions anyway. So it's not like you born and raised in Miami and you got that warm blood. So I just want to say congrats to the Chiefs that they're turning things around right at the right time. I mean, everybody was been dogging on them all season, dragging them through the dirt. And to finish their season at 11-6, I mean, I'm proud of their performance, and I'm excited to see what they do next weekend.
Yeah, I would have to say the same thing. I'm really proud of their performance, being that cold and just facing all the adversity that they've had to face all year with their receivers, especially. Like, for Rice to show up the way that he did, it was like right on time. Like, they are really literally clicking at the right time. Like, if there's any time you want to click, it's that first playoff game. So to get that out the way, to get a win, but a confident win where they played well.
Mm-hmm.
They had a few mistakes, obviously, here and there, but that's bound to happen in a 2-hour game. But for the most part, they played like a team that we're accustomed to see from Kansas City, a championship team that's been there before, that knows what it takes. Pacheco, he played great. He did what he needed to do. I like the fact that Patrick was like, okay, you guys are gonna shut down some of my receivers, close some of those gaps. I'm gonna use my legs because people forget like he still can run. Like Patrick Mahomes is fast, and he's able to get into those nooks and crannies on the field and make things happen. He can get those first downs. He can get close to it. Like he just made a lot of things happen. And so once they're clicking on all cylinders like that, they're pretty much really hard to beat at that particular point. So Travis, definitely have some crucial drops. Like they could have really blew it open had he made some of those catches, to be honest. But it happens. I don't expect him to play like that when they play again. Tua, dog, look, hey man, you might not be him. You might not be him. I'm sorry to say it. I'm not impressed. I haven't been impressed really all year because all the games that they've played, when they played against really good teams, he hasn't looked great. Yeah. Now against teams that are not good, he looks like him. And then when they play against a team that could contend for a Super Bowl, he regresses for whatever reason. So he didn't look good in the playoffs. It looks like the lights were a little bit too bright for him. Tyreek Hill, you gotta tip your hat to the Kansas City defense because they did not let Tyreek Hill get loose, and that is a very, very hard task considering the fact that he used to play there. So I know that they know, but still, like he's very hard to stop, and they did an excellent job making sure that he didn't get going because that's a big part of Miami's offense. And last point, let's not ever have Taylor Swift swag surf again. Okay, it was a swag paddleboard, it was a swag row your boat, it was not a swag surf. Okay, I just needed her to never do that again. Sister, like, I love you. Like, I feel like you are a great artist. I respect your grind. I respect the fact that you make millions upon probably billions of dollars at this point. You cannot dance, and that's okay. We all have our vices of things we're good at and things we're bad at, and that's one thing that you're bad at. So it's like, cut it out. Maybe have Travis teach you a little bit first. Also, Patrick Mahomes, your wife, sir, you can't swag surf either. No more. I don't want to see it anymore.
Nobody in the box. You got the mom, Donna, just going.
Yeah, literally, she's just
like, she knows her lane. She's like, I don't even know.
Like I put my arms up. I'm
back and forth. That's what it looks like you guys are doing. That's what I'm gonna do. She knows her lane. The rest of y'all learn it. Like that's not what y'all need to do ever again. That was the most uncoordinated swag surf I've ever seen in my life. I don't want to see it no more. Don't do it again. Like I said, tell Travis to have a tutorial or something. Like, all right, everybody, sit down. We're gonna learn.
He's gotta teach her how to do the stanky leg.
Yeah.
I need all that. Like he gotta teach her all the things because she can't be out here embarrassing you like that. Like, what is going on?
Teach your girl.
And you couldn't tell her she wasn't killing it. Like what killed me was the confidence in her face. Like,
right. It was like, we getting it. It's like, no.
That's the sangria catching up to her.
It gotta be something. But yeah, all in all,
that barefoot.
Great games. But that barefoot
that barefoot.
Gets you every time. You think you're Michael Jackson out there barefoot.
Yo, quick story. Barefoot used to be my thing when I was like 21 years old, going to the club, all the days that I would go barefoot at 7-Eleven used to be
it was like
the pregame.
It was like $4.
Yeah, that pregame, baby.
Let me just drink this barefoot real quick.
Like we up.
That super sweet Moscato, like tasted like candy, but man, that hangover was not worth it.
Especially if you mix it with anything else for the rest of the night, my lord.
Yeah. So games that we have coming up next week, we have the Houston Texans taking on the Ravens on January 20th this Saturday. We have the Green Bay Packers taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be taking on the Detroit Lions 3:00 on Sunday, and the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. That game I am so hyped for because every time I see these two teams go at it, you think about that 2021 playoff when it was back and forth overtime, like it was just so edge of your seat. So those are really two.
Don't give Patrick 13 seconds. Don't leave him 13 seconds on the clock. Don't do it. Don't give him no time. You can't even leave him 13 seconds. You can't
Talk your talk.
So don't even do it. We got this.
Excluding that Sunday night game against the Chiefs and Bills, what game are you looking forward to the most? Baltimore, Houston, Packers, 49ers, Buccaneers, Lions. What do you think is going to be probably like the most enticing game, like the closest game out of all those three?
I think I got two. The Packers and the 49ers is going to be treacherous. Like, that's going to be such a good game. And considering the fact that I'm not too far from the Bay, like, I plan on going to watch the games probably downtown, and it's going to be chaotic. And I cannot wait. Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be great. So I definitely that one, and then Houston and Baltimore for sure, because you got two young black quarterbacks. Like, sign me up.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely have to lean towards Baltimore and Houston. I just think the way that CJ Stroud's been playing has just been outstanding football. And I just like to see, like we talked about earlier in the show, like, is Lamar going to be deflated as he has in previous years when it comes to playoff pushes, or is he really going to bring that MVP energy into this matchup against Houston? They had a nice little week off, extra time to rest, get their bodies ready. So I'm excited to see Baltimore and Houston for sure.
Yeah, I got Baltimore and Houston too. Again, Texans. I work for the Texans, so seeing CJ Stroud, what that young man's doing. His QBR was again 154, right?
Wow.
His rookie QBR. They believe in D'Amico Ryan. Like, seeing them all young guys. They don't even got no super studs on their team. You know what I mean? Like, there's no like Collins is showing up. You got Dalton who was like. Their young dude, I can't place his name right now. He got hurt, but him and CJ were going to rookies. I mean, like, we got a rookie on the defensive end. So just seeing them just ball out and seeing if Lamar, are you that guy? We know you're going to get the MVP. We know. But are you that guy in the playoffs? And I just would love, I would love to see Houston upset and get the win. But are you really that guy, Lamar? Is this your year? So definitely that. Green Bay and San Francisco, I don't know. I mean, I guess let's see how the game gets started. Lions, Bucs. I love Baker. I'm not a fan of Jared Goff.
Me
and to be
neither.
honest, I know we can't put it all on the refs, but in the game, that was pass interference. I'm just saying, but they were like, "Dang, gonna let the Lions lose this game." I mean, 30 years, right? First playoff win, right? Is it 30 years or something?
Yeah,
so,
30
I mean,
years.
hats off to them. Everybody in the playoffs.
Are you talking about that Rams game?
Yeah, the Rams with the Detroit.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, because it was so close. But
it was just
what'd you say?
I mean, they needed one back after that the way that Dallas game ended when Detroit played Dallas in Dallas. So I guess they needed one back, but
I was like, okay, but all is all, I would love to see Baker, get the win, steal it from the Lions at home. So yeah, I mean, I'm watching all the games, excited to see him. But Sunday, well, it's actually a little early on Sunday, and I think the game's like at 5:30 on Sunday with the Chiefs and the Bills. So they definitely saved the best for last. So, but yeah, it should be some good playoff divisional weekend. So exciting.
Man, we are getting close to the Super Bowl, ladies. That's crazy.
I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see Usher perform at the halftime show, because stop playing with me.
Is it Usher?
Yes, it's Usher.
Oh, I forgot that. I completely forgot it was Usher.
I didn't.
Let it burn. Let it burn.
That's how you felt about
the Cowboys. Huh?
Let it burn, girl. Let it burn.
All right,
I burned all the jerseys I had. Shoot.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this week's show. Also, real quick before we do that, I just want y'all to know I do live with a 49ers fan, so if they do lose, I will be trolling. That is number one. But this has been a great episode of the Sports Sensei's. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will try to lock in. We're gonna get in the group chat to see what day works for us, so that we can definitely let you guys know about the next weekend's games. We'll give our thoughts and opinions like we always do. And like we always ended, ladies, make sure you shout out your social medias, let people know where they can find you.
Yeah. Find me, Janaea Nicole, at Janaea Nicole, Facebook, X, TikTok, what's the other one? Instagram, all of them, at Janaea Nicole.
Root the Truth on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram. I don't really use my TikTok like that. I really feel like I should, but I don't. But follow me on there as well. I'll give you a follow back. And yeah, stay locked in with the Sports Senseis, because we got a lot to bring to you after these Sundays or after these weekends games. We're gonna try to shoot for Tuesday night again because that's a good night that I have open. If not, I could do probably Thursday or Friday of next week. But yeah,
we'll definitely lock in and figure it out. And of course, me Sensei at _33 on Instagram and on Twitter as well as TikTok. I am at TheSensei3, so make sure you follow my account because I'm about to start posting more videos. I got one video on right now that's 1,000 views, so I'm very excited about that. But yeah, I'll definitely be posting more content. So just keep a track with us, man. We got a lot of stuff going on, and per usual, thank y'all for supporting.
And just another thing, we love football, but we also all love basketball as well. So we transitioning right into the NBA after this NFL season wraps up. So
yeah,
y'all know. All word. All right, everybody have a good night, and thanks for sticking with us. Bye.